Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Character here bringing you another Minecraft World War I aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Ro-Go Ko-Gato. The Ro-Go Ko-Gato was a Japanese reconnaissance floatplane developed during the First World War by the Japanese Navy arsenal at Yokosuka, and one of the first indigenous Japanese aircraft to enter production. There were 218 of these aircraft built for the Imperial Japanese Navy, which remained in use until 1928. So yeah, the Ro-Go Ko-Gato, very interesting little aircraft here in a Japanese World War I build, our first one ever. The Japanese really didn't have too much in terms of vehicles and stuff like that, or participation really in World War I, so kind of rare to see a World War I vehicle from Japan, but still nonetheless a pretty cool one as well. This one here, you could probably extend this into World War II if you really wanted to, and put into your World War II maps if you really wanted, though technically, realistically speaking, it would have already been retired by the time of World War II. But yeah, pretty interesting little aircraft here, and should be a fun build to go ahead and add to your worlds. Before we go and get started though, I want to go and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you guys already do, feel free to check my Patreon page, link is always in my video descriptions. Really helps support the work I do on my channel, and is also a really good way to get a vehicle request that you really want in a timely manner. So definitely feel free to check it out. Again, links are always in my video descriptions. With that, however, let's go ahead and move into taking a look here at the aircraft. So right away, we have, obviously this is a biplane floatplane, so it's got the floats here, and it's got the, obviously the bi-wings here. We have a nice two-tone here, so kind of a darker gray on the front, and also the pontoons here, and then the wings and the rest of the fuselage being more of a white color. So kind of a nice contrast in the colors there, I really do like it. Lots of good detail in terms of the rigging and floats and all that stuff that basically hold the wings together and all that, so really happy with the way that came out. And then for the rear here, just the back of the fuselage, pretty thin fuselage, just comes back here. We have a float on the bottom here, some more cabling here to the back rear rudder and horizontal stabilizers, and really that's pretty much about it. Pretty nice looking aircraft. I think it's going to make a cool addition to your worlds. But anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our first layer, we'll be going ahead and starting off with layer 1. Now, one thing I want to mention before I go ahead and get started with this tutorial is that this is a aircraft that can be put in the water or flying. We don't really have a ground landed version, but if you do want to place it in the water, layer 1 here is going to be built on the water level. As you can see here, this blue concrete here is representing the level that this layer 1 is going to sit at properly with the pontoons. So just make sure you take that into account when you start building this, that you position this correctly in the water if you do want to have this in the water level. Or if you do want to have this landed in the water. If you're building in the air, it doesn't really matter. Also, with my tutorials, what I like to do for these aircraft tutorials in particular is I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we're building the entire center line and the right side of the aircraft, and it'll be up to you guys in between layers to copy what we do on the right side over to the left side. The aircraft's completely symmetrical, so whatever we do on one side will be done to the other, so there really shouldn't be too much issue when it comes to that, and we'll make it a little bit more sense. It'll be a little bit easier as we progress through the tutorial. Anyways, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to be going ahead and placing down a row of polished blackstone top slabs. We're going to go ahead and do 2 polished blackstone top slabs and then 2 dark oak trapdoors like that. Again, the blue concrete here representing our water level, so you can see where that kind of lines up right there. After that, we want to go ahead and then place down 2 polished blackstone top slabs to the sides of these two. So just like that. Down the center here, we're going to take our gray concrete, going off the center polished blackstone top slab. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gray concrete blocks back, a polished blackstone stair, and a wither skeleton skull to both sides of the stair. We're going to go then take our polished blackstone walls, place down a row of polished blackstone walls between the wither skeleton skulls and the top slabs in the front there to go ahead and make our pontoons. Now we're going to do the same thing over to this side, which basically is divided by, or split apart by a space of 3. So you can see here this blue concrete representing the space between these 2 pontoons. You want to have 2 pontoons like this built for your first layer. And once you have that all complete, that will basically conclude layer 2, or sorry, layer 1. Looking at it from above here, this is what we should have for the final design there. And after that, we'll go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 2. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2, we're going to start off by placing down a gray concrete on this dark oak trapdoor. And we're going to go and then place down a polished blackstone stair coming off the door at the front. We're going to go and go back from this gray concrete block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. gray concrete blocks back, followed by a dark polished black stone stair, a daylight detector, and turn to night mode. And then to the sides here, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull to both sides of this polished black stone stair, as well as the both sides of this polished black stone upside down stair in the front here. We then want to go ahead and go to our outside, so the side not facing toward the middle, and we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 polished black stone walls along the side there. Over here on this side, we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, followed by a gray concrete block, then 1, 2, 3, and then a gray concrete block again. After we have that done, we just very simply want to go and place down a row 3 of end rods that's going to go across from those gray concrete blocks, and which will connect over to the other pylon or the other pontoon located on the other side once you have that one built. Anyways, once both sides are complete there, this is what it should look like from up above, and once you have that all complete, that's going to wrap up layer 2. Let's move on to layer number 3. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our next layer, we moved into layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a redstone repeater on top of this gray concrete block, and we're going to spread the notches apart just like that. After we have that done, we want to go and then take our polished blackstone walls. We're going to place down a wall here on top of this gray concrete block, kind of in line here with our row of end rods. And then on top of this gray concrete block here, we're going to place down a redstone repeater and separate the notches like so. We then want to go ahead and also grab a stone button. We're going to place a stone button here on this gray concrete block right after that polished blackstone wall. And on these last 2 gray concrete blocks on the back here, we're also going to place down 2 polished blackstone walls on top of those blocks like so. Then on the inside here, on this gray concrete block, we're going to place down a redstone repeater, separate the notches like so. And then come off the side of the repeater, we're going to place down a barrier block like that with a stone button on the side there. And then over here to the opposite side, we're going to place down a barrier block as well, come off this wall, and a stone button facing toward the front side like so. This section here, pretty much the same thing. Coming off the redstone repeater there, we're going to place down a barrier block, stone button toward the front, and then coming off the side of the polished blackstone wall, barrier block, and then a stone button facing toward the rear, like so. So let that fade there, and you can see the positions here of your stone buttons. So nothing too crazy there. After we have that all done though, we want to go and grab ourselves some kind of block we can tell apart from the aircraft. So we'll use some yellow concrete, doesn't really matter though. For this, we're going to be going ahead and going off the barrier block. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 blocks out to the side. So again, off this barrier block here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on the 9th block out, we're going to go and place down a stone top slab coming off of it, facing toward the front of the aircraft, which is going to be facing that direction that way. So we can go and then delete these blocks, as we do not need these any longer. And that right there is going to basically conclude what we have there for layer 3. Looking at it from above here, this is what we should have from the top-down view. And with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 4. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 4. For layer 4 to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go and start by going ahead and going up from this polished blackstone wall. On top of this redstone repeater, we're going to place down a polished blackstone wall like so. And same thing back here on top of this repeater, also we're going to place down a wall as well. We then want to go and go to the space between these walls, and we're going to go and go to the middle, place down a polished blackstone wall just like that. So you should have a space of 1 between these 3 walls, like so for each one. After that, we want to go and go to the space above these barrier blocks, so right above here in the middle space, and we're just going to place down a barrier block. And then we're going to place down a stone button come off the side of the barrier block, the one in the front here facing toward the front, and the one in the back facing toward the rear. After that, we're going to go ahead and go to these barrier blocks here. We're going to go up and out to the side here with our barrier blocks, so just like that. And then we're going to take our stone buttons, and we're going to place them down on the one on the back, have it on the side facing toward the front, and the one on the front here, have it facing toward the back there. So it looks something just like that there. After we have that all done, we have our little pontoon on the tip of the wing over here that we're going to go and basically get into. So for this, real simply, we're going to place down a stone slab on top of this top slab here, followed by 2 stone full blocks that go forward from it, a skeleton skull. And then on the inside here, we're going to go and place down 2 end rods going toward the center, and then there are 2 end rods like so. On the outside here, we're going to place down an iron bar coming off this full block, and then an iron bar coming off this slab, like so. And that right there is going to basically wrap up what we have here for this layer. We're going to obviously take the same thing we did on both sides, copy it over, and this is what we should have for the top-down view with layer 4 complete. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and move into layer number 5. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our next layer, we have layer 5. Layer 5 here, to go ahead and get started with, we want to go ahead and start off by going ahead and placing down a polished blackstone wall that goes up from this one at an angle like so. And then we're going to place down one more wall back from this one. And then on the back here, we're going to go ahead and have a wall that goes up from this one up at an angle, and it's going to stop right there. At this point between these walls right here, or for our center line, we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor, followed by a second dark oak trapdoor, and then an iron trapdoor like so. And then out to the sides here, we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor here, and then an iron trapdoor like so. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves some blocks that we can delete later, so just some yellow concrete, and we're going to count back from this iron trapdoor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 blocks. We're going to then place down a polished or a smooth quartz upside down stair, and then a smooth quartz block on the back of it, followed by a direct wall like so to make the tail. And we can go ahead and then delete those blocks like so. After that, go ahead and go into the sides here. We're going to take our iron trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 out to the side, followed by a second row 3, then a third row, and then a fourth row out to the side like so. At this point here, we're going to place down one iron bar there in the center, followed by a barrier block that is going to go up like this to the side here, and same thing over here, up and out to the side. And we're going to grab our stone buttons, and we're going to place down a stone button here on the two insides like that. We then want to place down 2 more rows of 3 of iron trapdoors going out to the side, like so. And then at this point here, we're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors down the center, followed by 2 end rods coming off these trapdoors to the sides of those middle 2 ones. And then once we get to this point, we're going to place down again 2 rows of 3 of iron trapdoors. So 1 and 2. And then at this point, we're going to go and place down 2 end rods on top of those 2 stone full blocks, and then an iron trapdoor like that. We're going to go then place down another row of 3 of iron trapdoors, followed by 1 iron trapdoor come off the middle one, and then a iron bar to both sides. And after we have that all done there, that's going to basically wrap up what we have here for this layer. And looking at it from above here, this is what we should have looking at it from the top-down view. Anyways, that right there is going to complete layer 5. Let's go and move on to layer number 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 6. One quick addition I want to make to the previous layer, layer 5, is we're going to go and grab an iron trapdoor, and we're just going to place down an iron trapdoor between these 2 polished black stone walls. So right here on the intersection like so. Anyways, once that's all complete, let's go ahead and continue on. First thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and place down a gray concrete block on top of this dark oak wood trapdoor here. And we want to go ahead and place down 2 more gray concrete blocks going forward from it. And then on the very front tip here, we're going to place down a polished blackstone top slab. After that, going back, we're going to go ahead and then place down a polished blackstone slab, a smooth quartz block, a polished blackstone slab, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 smooth quartz full blocks, then 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz top slabs, and then a iron trapdoor coming off that last smooth quartz top slab. We're going to then place down a birchwood fence gate on top of this upside down stair, open it toward the iron trapdoor, and then we're going to place down 2 fence gates on top of these direct walls and the smooth quartz block, and we're going to go ahead and have these opened up toward the rear, so it looks like that there on the back there. After that's done, we're going to then go to the sides. We're going to place down a polished blackstone upside down stair like that next to that gray concrete block, followed by an additional block that goes back from it upside down, so an upside down stair after it, so you have the corner stair, regular upside down stair, and then we're going to place down 2 gray concrete blocks back, followed by a smooth quartz block like so, and then a row of 2 of smooth quartz upside down stairs, smooth quartz top slab, or actually sorry, row 3 of smooth quartz upside down stairs like that along the side there. And then after we have that done, moving into our wings here, to begin with, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 daylight detectors, followed by a polished blackstone wall, and then 1, 2, 3 daylight detectors, then again a polished blackstone wall, and then 1, 2, 3 daylight detectors, a polished blackstone wall, and then a daylight detector out to the side there like so, to go ahead and finish it off. Now at this point here, as you can see, our trapdoors did open, so we're going to go ahead and use our give command here to go ahead and give ourselves a debug stick. Now if you do not have access to a debug stick, you can go ahead and change the trapdoors to the night mode, or you can go ahead and use birchwood trapdoors. Either one could work for the situation here, but basically all we're doing here is selecting the properties of this iron trapdoor, and we're going to go and set it to open to false. So it's not going to be open, it's going to be closed, so the daylight detectors are not working in this sense. After we have that done, we're going to take our smooth quartz slabs, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 slabs across the side there. And we want to go ahead and then take our iron trapdoors, 1, 2, 3, polished blackstone wall, 1, 2, 3, polished blackstone wall, 1, 2, 3, polished blackstone wall, and then 1 iron trapdoor there on the end. And after we have that all done there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have here for layer number 5, or sorry, actually layer number 6. And with that, here's what it looks like from the top-down view. And we'll go ahead and now move into our next layer, layer number 7. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 7. For layer 7 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a gray concrete block on top of this polished black stone top slab, and then a stone brick wall coming off it facing toward the front there. We then want to place down two anvils going back from this gray concrete block, and then we're going to go then place down a smoker on top of this gray concrete block right here. After that, we want to go and then place down a quartz block on top of this middle section here between the two polished black stone slabs. Then we're going to go and place down a black banner coming off the side of the slab, or side of the block like this, to go and create the back here for the pilot seat. We're going to go then place down another smooth quartz block here directly behind, or on top of this one after this polished black stone slab, and we're going to go and place down a black banner here as well for the co-pilot's seat as well. After that, going back from this block, we're going to place down an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 smooth quartz blocks back. So in total, this right here should be a row of 11. We're going to go then place down a smooth quartz top slab there on the very end. After that's done, going up to the front and work our way out to the sides, we're going to place down a polished black stone wall, come off the side there of that gray concrete block. After that, we want to go and then grab our polished black stone top slabs. We're going to place down 2 top slabs along the side here. And very simply, we're going to take item frames, black beds, and dark oak wood signs. So we're going to place down 2 item frames here on the side, and black beds and those item frames like that on their side. If you're on Java Edition, we can go ahead and also place a dark oak wood sign on the side of the first top slab. We're not going to do it on the second because of something we're going to be doing a little bit later. But yeah, you can place down a sign there on the sides there, and we want the beds rotated so the pillows are facing toward the rear of the aircraft. After that, though, we're going to place down 2 gray concrete blocks like that, and we're going to go then place down a ladder on the side of the second one. We're going to go then place down 1, 2, and 3 smooth quartz blocks, then 1, 2, 3 direct walls, a brick wall, a glass pane, 2 black stained glass panes, and then another white stained glass pane, just like that along the side there. And then on the back, we're going to go ahead and place down a iron trapdoor coming off this quartz top slab, a birchwood trapdoor here opened up toward this quartz full block like so, a row 2 iron trapdoors here, another row 2, and then 1 more coming off of it just like that. And after that's all done there, simply go into the sides here. We're going to place down polished black stone walls on top of these walls here. So just like that. And then after we have that done, go ahead and grab our barrier blocks. We want to go ahead and very simply place down a barrier block on both sides here in this section like so. And taking our stone buttons, we're going to place down a stone button coming off those 2. And then also we're going to do the same thing on the back here as well. So barrier block to both sides here, stone buttons like so. At this point here, we then want to go and place down a barrier block like this to the side here, and then a stone button coming off those barrier blocks like that. And then we're going to go to the very outside here, so these polished black stone walls here, and we're going to place down barrier blocks and stone buttons there on the sides like that for our cabling. And after that is all complete there, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there to do for this layer. Looking at it from above here, that's what we should have for layer 7 once complete. And with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 8. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 8. For layer 8 to go ahead and get started here, we're going to place down a daylight detector on top of this gray concrete block, turn to night mode, and then we're going to place down a second daylight detector back from it. We then want to place down a polished black stone slab, followed by a black stained glass block on top of the smoker right there. And then on top of this quartz block here, dark oak, or a polished black stone slab, and a polished black stone slab on top of this quartz slab as well. We're going to then place down 2 quartz slabs back, followed by 2 daylight detectors, and then 2 iron trap doors. If your iron trap doors do open, you can use the debug stick and use the same method down there. Use the debug stick to actually close the trap door if it does open. After that, we're going to place down a smooth quartz slab, followed by 1, 2, 3 smooth quartz full blocks, a quartz pillar, and a quartz upside down stair there on the very back. Once that's done, go ahead and move it out to the sides here. We're going to place down a gray carpet on top of this top slab there, followed by a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle like so, a polished black stone stair, followed by a daylight detector turned to night mode, polished black stone stair, daylight detector turned to night mode, and a polished black stone slab like so. We're going to go then place down 1 and 2 skeleton skulls, actually sorry, 1 skeleton skull like that, and then 1 at a slight angle like so, and then a lever that is going to be on top of this wall. And to do this, we're going to be going ahead and using a debug stick again. So grab ourselves a debug stick, and we're going to go and grab a lever, place it on the side of a block like so. We're going to go and select the facing actually sorry, the face. We're going to select it to floor, and then we can change the facing and have this rotated so it faces toward the rear, like so. After that, taking our barrier blocks, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 barrier blocks along the side here, and we're going to place down 3 stone buns along those barrier blocks. And we then want to go ahead and go off these barrier blocks to the side here. And for this, I mean, we're going to go ahead and skip a space over, so 1 out to the side there like that. And we'll wait for those to disappear so you can kind of see a little bit better. And then we're going to place down 3 barrier blocks back. And then 3 stone buns along the side there of those blocks, so just like that. After that's done there, on the tail, we're going to place down a lever on top of this iron trapdoor here. And then we're also going to place down an iron bar on top of this iron trapdoor, followed by white carpet on top of the fence gate, and these 4 iron trapdoors like that on the back. After that's all done, going ahead and grabbing our barrier blocks, we're going to place down first off, going to the walls here, we'll just go ahead and place down another polished black stone wall, going up from each one of these walls, just like that for the wing there. And at this point here, we're going to then go to the middle space between these barrier blocks, and we're just going to go ahead and place down 2 barrier blocks like this, stone bun coming off the sides, facing toward the front and back. And then at this point here, we're going to go and then place down 2 barrier blocks coming off this middle set of polished black stone walls in both directions. We're going to place a stone bun on the bottom of this first one, and then the side of the second one. Same thing here, like that. And over here, we're going to do the same thing, just like that on the sides there, to go ahead and form that rigging there. And after that's all done, we can go ahead and also throw the prop onto the aircraft as well, just for the hell of it. So for the prop here, very simple. We're going to place down a base spruce wood slab, drop down to a spruce wood top slab, and then we're going to drop down to a spruce wood slab from there. On the side of this top slab here, we're going to place down a sign. Other direction here, we're going to place down a top slab, and then another top slab going up. And on the side of the slab here, we're going to place down a sign as well. So just like that there for the props there, and that'll basically be it for the propeller. And with that, that's going to basically wrap up what we have there for layer 8. With that, let's go ahead and move into layer number 9. Alright guys, go ahead and move into layer 9. For layer 9, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a narrow brick slab on top of this black stained glass block. After that, we want to go to our tail. We're going to place down a smooth quartz slab on top of this second smooth quartz full block, followed by a smooth quartz full block, and then 2 pillared quartz blocks here on the very end. And on the first pillared quartz block here, we're going to place down an iron bar to both sides. After that's complete, we're going to then place down a polished black stone wall on top of these 2 stairs here, and we're also going to place down polished black stone walls on top of these ones, like so. So just like that to the sides there. We then want to go and grab ourselves barrier blocks and stone buns. We're going to place down a barrier block here, come off the sides here of these walls. So for this first section, like that. And we're going to place down stone buns here on the side, facing toward the front and also facing toward the back. We're going to go and then place down barrier blocks on these walls right here. Stone buns on the sides, and then also a stone bun that's going to go on top of this barrier block right here. So like so. And we're going to do the same thing right here. Stone buns on top of this barrier block, and a barrier block coming off the outer walls like so, and a stone bun like so coming off those. And once we have that all done there, that is going to wrap it up here for layer number 9. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move into our last final layer, which will be layer number 10. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 10. For layer 10, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a daylight detector on top of this narrow brick slab like so, and then behind it we're going to place down a smooth quartz slab. That right there is going to be the center there and the start of our wings. Moving to the tail here for the center as well, we're going to place down a smooth quartz slab on top of this pillared quartz block, and then an iron trapdoor directly back from it, like so, to go ahead and make the tail. Once we have that done, we're going to then take our daylight detectors. We're going to place down a daylight detector here, followed by a quartz slab back, and then a skeleton skull right here on top of that wall. We then want to place down our daylight detector, near a smooth quartz slab, and then an iron trap door. We're going to go and do this same row a total of 8 times. So we already have 1, then we're going to go and go out to the side here, 7 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then our quartz slabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then our iron trap doors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At this point here, we're going to go and grab some brick slabs. We can also use red nether brick, so that's something also that I've been kind of starting to experiment with using more. because I think it actually has a pretty nice color to it, especially for that nice kind of true red that we want to have here. So you can actually go ahead and use red nether brick here, because I think it looks a little bit better in this situation. But we can also go ahead and replace this wall here, this brick wall, with it as well. So just know that your levers will break, but I think it looks a little bit better than on the side. But again, kind of up to you guys on what you guys want to do there. But anyways, at this point here, we're going to place down a daylight detector, then a red nether brick slab back, and then a iron trapdoor. We're going to then place down a red nether brick slab, followed by a second slab back, and then we're going to place down an acacia wood trapdoor, like so. And then we want to place down another daylight detector like so, another red nether brick block or slab like so, iron trapdoor. And then continuing on, we're going to go and place down 2 more daylight detectors out to the side, so 1, 2, then 2 quartz slabs, then 2 iron trapdoors. On the very end here, we're going to place down a smooth quartz slab, followed by an iron trapdoor coming off it toward the rear. And then in this space right here, we're going to drop down, place down a block like so, place a skeleton skull on top of that block at about a 45-degree angle there in the corner, and delete the block underneath it. And once we have that all complete there, that is going to pretty much wrap up my design here for this Ro-Go Ko-Gato Reconnaissance Floatplane. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be a link from us on the build, tweet to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free to use it for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary204, and I'll see you guys next time.